Well, good afternoon again. This is Southwest 82. Still working on the 89 Suzuki GTI Turbo. Um, Back up at the shop, I'm doing the primary wiring for the MegaSquirt. I've got it all assembled. The stem is right next to it. Working off of Carlo's wiring diagram. Got everything laid out right now. Just trying to get everything wired up properly. Got a couple extra fuses in there just to make sure I don't blow something. But what we've got so far, got the engine's all assembled now. Wires are in place. Sorry, I've kind of messed up the wiring harness right now, but had to make a new bracket for the battery because I'm using a Optima red top and it doesn't exactly sit in the standard position, so I made a little cradle for it. Due to the downpipe on the turbo, I had to move the radiator over just a little bit, so I fabricated some brackets. Very simple. It's just some bar that bent around. There's a cradle underneath that holds it. And as for the turbo itself, I did wind up going with the Garrett T25. Currently the gate is set, I believe, to 7 pounds. I'm just going to start with that for now. 2.5-inch downpipe coming off. And as you can see, the gap between the radiator and the downpipe is fairly close. And this is just the transmission cooler that I've got sitting in there loosey right now. I haven't hooked up either the transmission cooler or the air-to-water intercooler line yet. Looking underneath the car, you can see sorry, I'm not really good with this. Oil for the turbo, the return drain. Those two lines hanging down are the water supply for the turbo. I've got to finish that. And then there's the 2.5-inch pipe going all the way back. So hopefully today we will get this thing running. I have a very rough bass tune in the MegaSquirt. I'm trying to wrap my head around this stuff. It's pretty deep. Tuner Studio has their VE tables, ignition tables, just a little bit different than the old Megatune where you could set it by kPa, and now it's in percentage, so trying to move everything over to that took a little while. So anyway, we will keep you posted. Alright, still working on the wiring harness and setup. Well, it's kind of getting late and kind of getting tired, but got all the injectors wired up, the idle air controls wired, sensors, the coolant temperature sensors wired. MegaSquirt called for a twisted wire pair. I wound up making a twisted wire simply using 2 strands of 22 gauge white and black, tied 2 ends together, chucked the other side into my drill, and just ran it down until it became a nice uniform piece of wire. But what I've just worked on, since I got to get the wideband hooked up for MegaSquirt, see if I can get the headlight on. I just got done installing my gauge cluster. There are a total of 6 cobalt digital gauges. So if I can get in here, sorry. Total of 6 gauges. There are 3 on each side of the main instrument cluster. Top here, exhaust gas temp, transmission temp since it is an automatic, and the water temp is for the air-to-water intercooler. Just going to monitor the temps coming out of that heat exchanger. Top over here is the wideband, boost vac, and last oil pressure. So this is all turbo related, and this is just general maintenance on this side. And this is where the MegaSquirt's going to mount. Just got to punch a hole in the back of that. It just seems easier to bring everything through since I've got half the wires coming through on the passenger side and a bulk of them coming through on the driver's side. This is where the thermocouple comes in, and most of the things for the O2 sensor. So, well, we'll just keep working.